Beautiful day is just beginning here, in the lands of the Canterbury wilderness. I'm here at what some believe is the birthplace of the hero of our story, Homo studentis kentis. Now, some scientists believe this fascinating creature to be a descendant of the studentis species, found across the globe in protected areas like these, known as universities. However, studentis kentis is thought to be one of the oldest of its kind, as old as these trees, right there behind me. This truly unique mammal is world-renowned for its diverse mating calls and subtle mimicry of the studentis longdensia, not to mention its unique hunting techniques, employed to catch its favourite prey, free food and table spaces. Now, join me as I go behind the scenes, charting the ups and downs, the triumphs and the tragedies. Welcome to Walking with Students. As the sun beats down on another morning here on campus, some students are already out and about, like this little guy here. Clearly one of the more informed variants of the breed. I make no exaggeration when I say this is the closest, dare one say intimate, I've ever been with a person. 22 years in broadcasting, let me tell you, doesn't get much better than this. Fascinating. However, our journey begins here, the burrows, the safe space, the spawn space, the rat haven, i.e. student halls. This is the nest of studentis, and I've come to meet our young protagonist. Okay, sorry. I've come to meet our young protagonist.
It's just gone 9 a.m. here. Looking at my watch, I've been here nearly 2 hours, hoping to catch a glimpse of this man in the bed here. Am I starting to regret coming here? Maybe, but as a predecessor of mine in this job once said, good things do usually come to those who wait. Which worked for him. That is before the shark attack, of course. But this guy here, he's a whole other story. I mean, what are his hopes? What are his dreams? I mean, we're about to find out.
The first quest of the day for our youngling, hunting for food. Although he lives in a fruitful environment, our youngling is currently surviving a period of scarcity and undernourishment, and must therefore adapt to these difficult circumstances. Some are born more prepared than others.
Shit.
Now the youngling must find his way across this new territory to the bountiful lands of knowledge. Orientation skills are of utmost importance, and few make their way correctly the first time.
I hope you all enjoyed the reading for today's class. The book was considered by many quite inappropriate for some decades. So, what is the influence of 19th century beliefs in relation to sex and gender and biographical composition, using Samuel Johnson's early work as an example? Nice of you to join us.
Now, in recent years, due to an uncontrolled spike in the Studentus population, this has led to a scarcity in one of the main sources of life, study spaces. Now, our youngling over here is about to embark on one of his first punts of the morning into the richness and abundance of the library. To get there, however, he must first survive what some volumes refer to as the first act of natural selection, i.e. the University Hill. This is a trial only endured by the strong. Luckily, our youngling is in the prime of his youth. However, to get there he must first overcome those ever-feared creatures which may stand in his way. Studentus pamphletus.
As always, creatures learn by imitating others. The youngling has come at a very late hour, and so he will have to practice his hunting skills if he is to find a free table. Finally, a free table. Unfortunately, the youngling isn't the only one to have spotted this. It is a tense moment indeed. This other student is older and more experienced. Will he beat our youngling to the table? Another disappointing failure. Few hunting attempts are successful for first years. By some miracle, the youngling has managed to secure a spot. However, some elderly students do not have the stamina to survive long hunts and must give up quickly. Alas, it is difficult to observe this scene, but such is nature's way.
After a busy academic day, our youngling has come to let off some steam at a student society. These niche student clubs are remarkable social gatherings unique to Homo Studentus. Time to find out more.
Well, we can keep going as we can keep going. We've not been going violent. Yeah, one of the parts, the funny bit of trivia was that, like, Mrs. Cage's character wears like a snake.
Hello, everyone! Welcome to our first official meeting of the William Defoe Appreciation Society. For those of you who are coming back, wonderful to see you again. And for those of you who are new, we're overjoyed to have you. All right, for our first icebreaker, we're gonna break up in pairs and talk about why you're here today.
Here we can see this fascinating hierarchy existing within this society. Although seemingly simple, scientists have spent decades deciphering the complex patterns of communication and dominance between the group members of student societies. The society president, also known as the Alpha, sits at the top of the group. She won her place not by being the strongest or the fastest, but by being the most respected. She leads the pack with her sense of wit, her leadership skills, and above all, her kindness. Next in line is the beater, the real power in the shadows, as he decides where the group spends their afternoon, and most importantly, where they go to drink. Finally, at the bottom of the pack, we have the youngsters and the elderly. These individuals are often ignored by others and must learn to fend for themselves if they are to survive.
As night approaches, books and pens are laid to rest. Now the most beautiful spectacle of all can begin.
It is finally the mating season. Friday, a wild and competitive time as each studentus grooms themselves and prepares their best outfit. It is a wonderful evening full of colours and costumes that we only get to see every week.
Clad in leather, golden ring, dressed tip to toe in stylish fling. Now, I know what you're thinking, what's it all about? Well, I'm here at one of the most frequented places in the area, the rumoured birthplace of genital herpes and antigen style. If attractions like these are not there, it's no wonder students flock and congregate to these waterholes of life. It's widely debated just how long students wait outside these sacred places. Scientists estimate 30 to 60 minutes. Other reports report 3 hours. Now, as you can see here, as the rain and wind lashes down on students, they flock together in order to shield from the wind and the cold. Such intelligence on display here. Now, as for us, let's get out some fun. The beginning can be overwhelming to those unaccustomed to such an environment. The night is young, emotions are running high. It's time for me to break the ice.
If Shakespeare said, "Music be the food of love, play on," clearly the bard from Birmingham quite didn't have in mind. Was the music as repetitive dance beats, the food as anything which could be inhaled, drunk or snorted, and the love? Well, you don't want to know. All around, a remarkable display. Amongst the sea of colour and movement, I lost track of our youngling temporarily, but rest assured he is safe somewhere, dancing with his peers. Oh, here we are, about to witness the amazing attempts at telepathy. The females of the species are thought to possess. A failed flirting attempt, or rather a common event. Only 5% of flirting attempts actually lead to what is scientifically described as a hookup, and 2.3% of those in getting laid, although this number decreases among the STEM population of Studentus.
No one was going to ask me to dance, nor, for that matter, was anyone going to ask our youngling either.
A brilliant night is finally coming to an end. Such is the way of life, day after day, surviving in this cruel landscape. So,
What have I learned about Homo studentus? A great many things, most of which have been cut from this documentary because, quite frankly, it wasn't very interesting. My research has revealed that their communication skills are the least developed of any species on this planet, rivaling even those of the giant Balkan worm slug. I learned that only a fraction of the species actually engage with their assigned readings. Clearly, Homo studentus is caught in a world of paradoxes, a creature both overworked and underproductive, both impoverished and in possession of a seemingly bottomless alcohol budget. What a privilege to have gotten to study this elusive animal. My time with Homo studentus has led me to contemplate a question which has haunted my nights over the last 54 years. Are they really so different from the rest of us? Like us, they dream, they struggle, they overcome, and sometimes they even shower. And most importantly, their behavior and environment are but a microcosm of our own. We never truly leave university, nor do we ever truly enter it. After all, university is not just an institution, but a state of mind. Life is an endless cycle of procrastination, stress, and pretending like we know what's going on. And so, as I take my leave of this curious species, I find myself wondering, do we ever truly graduate? Or do we simply trade one set of arbitrary deadlines for another in our short time on this planet? For we are all students in this university called life. And let it be said that our time there was well spent.